Hi everybody, my name is Kari Napoli and I am the Orthopedic Acupuncture Specialist at Energy Matters Acupuncture located in Oakland, California. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to sleep when you have lower back pain. So, whenever someone comes into my office and they have lower back pain, we always have to talk about how they're sleeping, really whether or not they're sleeping. Most people are tossing and turning because they're incredibly uncomfortable. So my two primary objectives when I get anyone on my treatment table who has lower back pain is one, to show them that they can in fact feel comfortable and in turn teach them how to get comfortable in their beds at home, and then two, give them pain relieving acupuncture. So while I can't give you pain relieving acupuncture through this camera, I can in fact teach you how to get comfortable at home if you have lower back pain. And we're going to try to customize it to you. So the first thing we're going to cover are some of the tools you're going to need. Pillows, an insane number of pillows. Call your favorite aunt who has those 500 pillows all over her house and ask her if you can borrow a few. Then you're going to need probably your cruddiest bath towel. So by cruddy, I don't mean dirty. I do in fact mean so old and overwashed that you wonder if it qualifies as a towel anymore. Those are perfect. So what you're gonna do with this bath towel is you're going to fold it over a couple of times, and then I'm gonna show you where it goes. So take that towel. Some people like to roll it. I personally do not. I should probably tell you, I am in fact a long-time low back pain person. I had low back pain for 20 years and I've got a couple of herniated discs, so I do know a thing or two about your back going out. I also know how to clean a cat box on my hands and knees because I can't stand up. So if you have questions about that, you can email me that too. So you're going to take that towel, you're going to fold it over about 3 times. So you don't want anything that's too thick, you also don't want anything that's too thin. And truth be told, that's going to depend on your body type, so you may have to customize this to you. So the first person we're going to cover is the dedicated side sleeper. By dedicated side sleeper, I mean that you sleep on your side and the most you do is flip side to side. It's going to be a little bit different for back sleepers, and then we are going to have to cover the ever difficult back to side flipper, which I am. So I consider myself a difficult person too. So what you're going to need for the side sleeper is 1, you're probably going to need a fat, firm pillow for your head. 2, we talked about the towel. 3, you can either have 2 fluffy pillows for your legs, or you can have a nice long king-sized pillow. You can also have a medium-sized body pillow. Some of the less expensive ones are not great for the whole body. They don't quite do the head and the arm, but they will do the legs nicely. So here's where everything goes for the side sleeper. You're going to place this towel at your waist. If you're like, where is my waist? Let me cover that for you. If you take your hands to your belly button and you walk it around to the sides, you're going to end up in that little squishy bit between your hips and between your ribs. That is your waist. So that is where this towel is going to go when you're on your side. So I'm going to go ahead and scooch onto my side, and I'm going to make sure that that towel is in my squishy waist part. Next, we have this pillow. The biggest mistake a lot of us make when we're side sleepers is the pillow under our head is not thick enough. It's much more rare that I get people that have one that's way too thick. So when the pillow is too thin, it's going to look like this. Your head is going to collapse onto your shoulder. Your head's going to be at an angle towards the table, and this is a great way to wake up with a neck that may never turn again. I'm kidding, but it's probably going to be a few days. So you want a pillow that's thick enough that your head actually stays in line with your spine. So a thicker, firmer pillow for the committed side sleeper is actually the best way to go. Now my head is in line with my spine. I've got my cruddy towel under my waist. And what to do with this arm. It's sort of like, what do I do with my hands, right? What do I do with this arm? This guy really depends on your shoulder, right? So some people like the arm overhead. It feels good to them. My arm's gonna fall asleep like this. Some people like the arm in front of them. This may work for you, but if you share the bed with a partner, it may not. You may end up slapping them in the face all night. So my favorite for the hand is the slight bend on a pillow. You may be flexible enough that you can just go ahead and drop this bad boy like that. My shoulder's gonna start killing me in the middle of the night if I let this drop. So I have to pad this guy up with another pillow. And this feels quite heavenly. Now the pillow's at our legs. You need two. I know, two. Or a very long body pillow. Why? One of the things that a lot of my patients will comment on when I get them comfortable on their side is supporting their feet and not supporting their feet. Some of them are putting the pillow between their legs already, which is great, but they're not doing it between the feet. And that collapse at the feet actually puts a little pressure on the back of my hip. Now, if I have lower back problems, there's more going on in our hips than we think when we have lower back problems. So you don't want to put any stress or strain on your hips in any way if you can avoid it. So not only do I want my knees supported, I want my feet supported too. I want the whole kit and caboodle. Now the thickness between the knees really depends on the width of your hips. So I want my knee to be roughly in line with my hip. If it's slightly above, that may be comfortable for you, so you can see how that feels. Let the femur drop into the hip socket like that. But if it's lower than the hip, like this, it is going to put a ton of pressure on that hip joint. Your lower back's going to be really uncomfortable. And some of us start to notice the bony knee knob connecting, and that starts to rub at night and get uncomfortable. You don't want any part of that. So go ahead and pad these bad boys all up. And here we are almost in the perfect position for the committed side sleeper. There's one limb left. It's this one. So this little guy hanging this way, or this little guy hanging this way, or this little guy hanging this way. These are all great ways to wake up with shoulder pain. So, yet again, Aunt Mabel's many pillows, right? Take this pillow, drape it kind of across your body like so. I call this the goddess draping. Do you see it? So I'm going to take this arm, and I'm going to rest it here. And now I'm going to pass out beautifully. The committed side sleeper who flips side to side, it is true that when you flip, you'll have to kind of flip under this guy and take these guys with you. It's true. You're going to develop beautiful thigh strength while you're sleeping just by flipping over. It's like you're exercising and sleeping at the same time. But in any case, what will feel a lot better is your lower back. This is the amount of support that you need. Now for the back sleepers. Back sleepers, you need some fewer pillows, but you're not getting off completely, so don't get too excited. For the back sleeper, you're gonna probably need at least one pillow for your knees. I prefer more. And you're going to need a different pillow for your head. Let me show you why. So this towel is actually gonna go under your lower back. So lower back versus the back of your pelvis, you don't want this under your pelvis. So for the lower back, where to put it, if you take your fingers to your belly button and you wrap your thumbs, boop, all the way around, they're gonna end up roughly where you want that towel. So that can be your measuring tool. So watch what happens when I use way too big of a pillow for my head when I lay back. Let's go ahead and look at my neck. So this is a great way to get chronic gradual neck pain. You may not get the neck crick where you wake up and you're like, I can't turn my head, oh my God. But you may very well start to get chronic neck pain where you're like, why is my neck just starting to hurt more and more every single day? This is the position that tends to do it. This is also the phone position, the laptop position. This is a great way to start to really knock the curve out of your neck. And that curve is there for a reason. So for the committed back sleeper who does not flip on their side, the big thick pillow for the side sleeper is a bad idea. This is where I'm going to give you my personal pitch for the buckwheat pillow. Now, not everybody likes the buckwheat pillow. I have a lot of neck problems. A lot of back problems. I've injured myself more times than I can count. So for me, the buckwheat pillow was a lifesaver and actually completely changed my neck pain. Just the buckwheat pillow. So a lot of people don't like the buckwheat pillow because, listen, maybe you can hear the rain stick sound. Every now and again, I'll get people who complain about that sound. So if you are extremely sensitive to sound, buckwheat may not be for you. But unless you're extremely sensitive to sound, I always feel like it's so worth trying, especially if you have neck pain. Here's why. The buckwheat pillow kind of forms to your body. If you're old enough to remember that toy that had the little metal pegs where you pushed your hand or your face through it and it held the shape, you gotta be old enough to remember that, but it's a lot like that. So I'm gonna take the buckwheat pillow behind my head, and now I'm gonna kind of mash it so that it supports my neck without pushing my forehead this way and without letting my chin go this way. These two shapes are bad news for both the neck and eventually really for the lower back. So you want the head to be in a more neutral position. You ideally don't want the shoulders on the pillow. You want the neck curve supported, but you don't want the head to be pushed forward or back of the neck. So the buckwheat pillow allows that really beautifully, which is why I use it, which is why I like it. So I'm going to place this underneath that little curve of my back. I've got the pillow supporting my neck, so my head's in a nice position. I like 2 pillows under my knees. You can even stack up more. Don't hesitate to put more pillows under your knees or even under your heels. Have some support underneath the knees. This position is a great position for the committed back sleeper. Now we have to get to the hard one. People like me, the flippers. We flip side to back, side to back, side to back. I just showed you that those are 2 very different things. So how to do both. I won't lie to you, it's not super easy. But this is yet again another moment for the buckwheat pillow. Why I like my buckwheat pillow. I flip side to back, side to back, side to back. And I am at a time in my life where I can get a sleep injury. So you gotta be able to take care of yourself while you're sleeping. Why I like the buckwheat pillow, because when I roll onto my side and I've come to this predicament where I'm like, well, my head's too low, with very little disturbance in my sleep, I can do this. And the buckwheat pillow is firm enough that it stays there for me and my head's not falling into my shoulder, and it's really comfortable. Now this is a small buckwheat pillow. I have a king size buckwheat pillow because I have a little extra piece that stays right here for my hand, which is perfect. So on the side, this little malleable pillow will accommodate me, and then also the waist stays the same, right? So your towel doesn't need to be moved. You're just gonna roll back and forth and it's gonna be exactly where it belongs. The pillows between the knees do have to be adjusted, but you'll become a pro over time and you'll do it without even thinking about it. So the way you get from side to back in this thing is when you're turning onto your back, you will start to develop the habit of going like this. And it actually works out fine. So it takes time, and you're gonna have to find the right pillows under your knees for that to become comfortable. It is a process, but it's the most comfortable I've ever been in my life sleeping, and I can actually wake up pretty consistently without a sleep injury. That is success, people. So the last thing I wanna cover, how to get out of bed. It's a real thing. It could seriously hurt you. So do not do this. Whenever I see my patients do this, it's always like, no, stop, you're going to injure yourself. You have to roll out. If you're a side sleeper, you're already there. But if you're not, you're a back sleeper, you've got to roll to your side. You have to do it. It's 2 seconds out of your life and it's so worth it. You're gonna roll onto your side whenever you wanna get out of bed. Then from here, you're going to press yourself up. If you are super stiff, give yourself a minute before you press yourself up. Then you're gonna go ahead and press into your hands, let your legs start to fall, and you're gonna sit up. And you will have made it to an upright position with minimal injury. All right, so those are some of the basics of how to sleep comfortably when you have lower back pain. So if you are someone with lower back pain, go ahead and try some of these tools. You've got to find the right pillows for you. You've got to find the right setup for you. These are just some basic outlines of things to look for. And if they work for you, go ahead and shoot Energy Matters an email and let me know, because I want to know about your success stories. Now, if you have a friend who's struggling with this, please share this video. I want to help as many people as we possibly can. If you've never tried orthopedic acupuncture and you're somebody who has lower back pain, this is what I do day in and day out. I love helping people live better lives, and that includes teaching them how to get more comfortable at home. So if you're interested in exploring that, contact Energy Matters, and I look forward to meeting you.